Our next word from the Lord today. Now, we are going to look at how to overcome every single temptation from the enemy. And what is sin? Sin is anything that is outside of the will of God. And the enemy you set up. He first set us up before we can also fall into the temptation. And when we fall into temptation, then it's going to lead on to sin. So we are going to deal with this very quickly. Now, when we look at the book of Luke chapter 22 verse 46, it's saying to us, if we don't pray, we will fall into temptation. Yeah? Just say, for example, you're at home and you see a bottle of alcohol. Yeah? And you know that alcohol is your temptation. By you focusing on that alcohol too much will lead you to take a sip. Later on, you'll come back and say, I'm going to take a little bit more. And time you do catch up, you're literally drunk. And that is for all the temptation in the world. I'm talking to you about sexual immorality. I'm talking to you about pornography, drugs, lovers of money, everything that is outside of the will of God. I'm talking to you about it. Now, how do we overcome these sorts of things? Yeah? The Bible says that in the book of Luke chapter 18 verse 1, it says men always ought to pray and not to faint. So for example, if you keep yourself into the atmosphere of prayer, that temptation will not tempt you anymore because you are occupying your heart with prayer and the things of God. That is why in the book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 18, it's telling us that we must be filled continuously. Why we must be filled continuously? Because when we are filled continuously, nothing else can occupy that space in our heart. So we are occupying it with prayer and the presence of God. So when that temptation tries to come in, there is no space in our heart for it because we are occupying ourselves with the things of God. Temptation will only come in your life if you give it that space in your heart. So if you see the rum on your table and you are praying in your mind, praying in your heart, that rum cannot influence you anymore. It's because now you are in the atmosphere of worship and prayer, so it will not have space in your heart. Fill your heart with the things of God.